If you're looking to be comfortable, you're going to miss out on a lot of great things. I went to a disco theme networking party. And I remember feeling so nervous when the organizer told me, hey, by the way, it's gonna be a disco theme. I had that flashback of my gold sequin dress in my closet that I probably have worn one or twice, because we all know, like, where are you gonna wear sequin dresses except at parties? And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to park and then walk 10 minutes across downtown, and everyone is going to notice me. And at that point, I wanted to just scribble up in a box and not come out of that box. I remember arriving to park, getting out the car, and a small voice said, Nikia, you got this. It's okay to dress up. It's okay to look nice. Hands up, shoulders back. Let's go. I walked across downtown, despite my fears and despite feeling uncomfortable. And people were complimenting me on the street, shouting from across the street, stopping me on the street, saying, hey, I love the dress. And something happened. The more I got compliments on the dress, the more confident I became in that dress. Just because you are uncomfortable now doesn't mean that you're not going to be comfortable later. Uncomfortable is not a statue. It's not a tree. There's always an opportunity to experience something new. There's always going to be an opportunity to feel uncomfortable one day and the next day feel comfortable. Nothing bad ever happens being uncomfortable and discovering something new and a new experience. That's a perk. There's nothing to lose. If you continue to wait for things to be comfortable and you never push yourself, never take that one step forward, you're gonna be left behind, because you're never gonna be able to see what could have been outside of what you're comfortable with. Everything truly worthwhile often comes with discomfort, because it demands a higher level of action than what most people are willing to take. As soon as it becomes comfortable, it means it's easy for you. You could probably do that thing in your sleep. And if you're a little bit more real, it's probably holding you back. In my experience, every time I've been comfortable, it usually means that I'm just staying at the same level. I'm okay at that level. But you have to understand that God didn't make us to be just staying at the same level and always comfortable. He made us to do the uncomfortable so we could do beyond what we imagine. How can you get to that point if you're always just comfortable? Comfortable never gets you to the next level. It just doesn't. Let me give you a real life example. So I go through periods of times where I'll do a lot of hobbies that I enjoy doing. And sometimes I will tell myself, oh, let me take a little break. Because if I'm real with you, hobbies take a lot out of me. AKA, meaning it gets me out of my house. It gets me speaking to new people. It gets me learning new skills beyond my ability. That thing is getting me outside my comfort zone 2.0. There's no way around it. So every time I'll take that break from the hobby and I'll tell myself, yeah, I need a break. Guess what ends up happening is I'll end up staying in the house. When I'm staying in the house, I want to stay in the house forever. So I'm telling myself it's a break. And then there's usually a small voice nudging me and saying, hey Nikia, you're getting bored. It's time to go back and do the hobby now. Like, this break is not meant to be for 20 years. It should be just for a few days. It's time to go back out now and do things to stretch yourself. Okay? Just how I imagine the voices in my head. Like, it's kind of saying, this is not a break now. You're just staying in the house. Get back out now. So when I'm comfortable, I'm not stretching myself. When you are comfortable, you are not stretching yourself. You are in a state where you're comfortable. You're in a state where you are over the moon because it's your safe haven. Uncomfortable means that you're getting to the next level. That is guaranteed. Because if you are at level 4 and then you broke through level 4, you won level 4 and you got to level 5, that would be your new uncomfortable level. And then once you stay there for a while, then level 5 becomes your now comfortable level. And then now you have to work to get to level 6 because you can't stay at level 5 anymore, but it represents that when you went from 4 to 5, that there was growth. So that was awesome. But it gets to a point where every time you move up a level and you grow and you do the uncomfortable, eventually becomes comfortable. It never stops. As long as you're alive, the bar just keeps on going up and up. That's why you'll see a lot of, I just thought about this, but that's why you'll see a lot of people in jobs where they get the new job and then they're excited about it because they got to a new salary, a new level. And then once they're in it for like maybe a few months or a year, eventually they're like, wait, I want more, because there's a point where they get so comfortable with it and then they want the next level. But majority of people, even though we know technically, you should be applying for jobs every few years because your income will never really expand as much compared to if you stay there. A lot of people will get so comfortable that they'll stay for that job for 20 years, even though they know deep within that they can get a bigger raise. It's not that they don't want to get to level 6, it's that it gets so comfortable. Level 5 is just comfortable now. Because level 4, they move from level 4 to 5. And then now 5 becomes comfortable, and then you're like, oh, do I want to get to level 6? Because yes, it takes work. It stretches you. Isn't that powerful? You can't let being uncomfortable stop you from what you want to do, because it's just not how life works. You have to try new things scared. It's important that when it comes to stretching yourself, you have to listen to yourself and your intuition. I'm a big believer in that. If deep down you feel like that very thing that you're thinking of doing is not for you, don't do it. Don't do it. But if you feel that that very thing that you should try, that it's scary, that gives you a glimpse of hope, then you need to do it. If you feel like it's something that constantly comes back in your mind, and you know what I'm talking about, it keeps on coming back. It keeps on coming back. There's a small voice saying, you should do this. You should do it. You need to do it. And my ongoing rule is, other than your intuition, as long as it's not something bad, or it doesn't go against your morals, it's not sin, or it goes against your beliefs, then it's fine to do. There shouldn't be any kind of debates. If it feels uncomfortable for me, and it goes against what I believe in, and it goes against what I stand for, I automatically just won't do it. If there's a risk for me to get hurt in any shape, way, or form, I won't do it. If I'm tired and I don't know if I can do it and I'm not sure, I won't do it. So when I went on my water rafting trip and I fell out the boat in that rapids, best believe I didn't do any more cliff jumping. I was like, I'm good with doing anything that's stretching myself because I already stretched myself. So you know your limits deep down. You just have to listen to yourself. But most times, like 95% of the time, if I know that it's something that it's going to benefit me, meaning it's going to lift my spirits, it's going to help me be a better person, help me enjoy life more, or help me even grow, I'm going to do it. In a week or so, we're heading to a Tim Burton event, and I asked one of the girls, hey, are you gonna be wearing a costume? And I remember her laughing and she was like, oh no, I'm gonna look weird to people on the subway if I do. My perfect opportunity to get in there. And this is what I said to her. The biggest thing here is if you're doing something that's uncomfortable or you're doing something that you're not used to doing, the reason for you not doing the uncomfortable, the main reason cannot be because of people. You cannot let people dictate your actions and what you're gonna be doing next. Especially if you are in downtown Toronto, we all know with how big the city is, anything goes. When you see someone that is dressing out of the normal, we don't ask questions because we're like, okay, it must be some type of event. Anything, if you're gonna take it a step further, most people don't care. People are not paying attention to your life that we think they are. They're just not. I remember when I was transitioning from my e-commerce business into the agency, I remember telling the coach, oh, I'm just nervous what people are going to think. And she's like, Nakia, no one cares. People have their own lives. No one cares when you're switching something, or no one cares when you're doing something uncomfortable because they're in their own world. I wanted to tell her, the only reason why you should not be wearing a costume is if you don't have a costume and you prefer an outfit, because I'm just going to wear an outfit. That should be the only reason why you're not wearing a costume. But if you have a costume, you should wear it. We need to do it uncomfortable for ourselves and not because of other people and what they think. That should not be the determining factor. So get out there and do uncomfortable things.